My name is Mark Grimes. I'm a student at GMIT, and this is a video I made. Hello. Today we're going to take a look at array lists in Java. So, what is an array list? It's a lot like an array. It's used to store a bunch of objects. The big difference between an array list and an array is that you can dynamically change the size of it. So you can increase the size, you can decrease the size. It also has a couple of handy methods specific to array lists that make finding things a bit easier. So we'll get stuck in. I've created a class called ArrayListTutorial. Very original, I know. We need to first import java.util. That's where array lists are contained, so we'll get it in here. Til.star. Now, here I've done .star, I've imported the entire library. If you just wanted to bring in the array list part, you could just go .ArrayList. It doesn't really matter in this instance because efficiency isn't a huge deal. We're just doing a tutorial, so I've just brought in everything. So, we'll get started and we will declare an array list. So we'll start with array list. And here what we do is we define the type of object we want to take in. So you could have a custom object that it took in if you've created a class or something, but we'll just use strings for now. Equals string, and we'll call it myList equals new array list string. Okay, so I've declared an array list. It's called myList. It's not much, but it's mine. There's nothing in it. So let's fill it up. I'll fill it up with food, because food is good. I'll fill it up with fruit. So if we want to add to an array list, we use .add. So we'll go myList.add, and then we put in what we want to add. So apple. Great. myList.add orange. So now there's two things in my list. So let's check to see the size of the list. So we'll go system.out.println list.size, and let's see what this spits out. Okay, so it spits out two. Excuse me. So it spits out 2 because there's 2 things here. However, this is where it gets interesting compared to Java in that you can just keep adding to it even after you've got its size initially. You can just go myList.add. What do we add? How about a BlackBerry? They're pretty good. And we'll go myList.add raspberry. And finally, we'll add strawberries, because strawberries are also good. Okay, now we'll print out the size just to show that it's changed. And we've got 5 items in our list. So that's pretty cool. You can also, if you want to get an item at something, you can say myList.get 0. That will get that item. So we'll put that in system.out.print. Apple, because 0, apple is the first element of the array list, and it's a lot like arrays in that they count from 0, so that's 0, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 5 things in the thing, but it goes from 0 to 4. Alright, this is the other cool thing in that you don't just have to constantly increase, you can also decrease the size of the array list. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go say myList.remove, and we're going to we'll do it by index. You can do it by object as well, but we'll do by index. So we'll get rid of the BlackBerry. So that's 0, 1, 2. So that's 2. So that should get rid of the BlackBerry. Now we'll also print the size just to see, again, just to see if it's changed. So yeah, so 4. It's removed it. That's great. No more blackberries for you, or for me. Although I quite like blackberries, but that's beside the point. Okay, so you can also use it to find things in the array pretty quickly. A little bit more intuitively than, you know, loops, for loops, whatever you would normally use. So we'll look for raspberries. We'll see. We'll say system. We'll just print it out too, just to, and we'll say mylist.index of, and there we go, and we'll go raspberry, and okay. So what that should do is it should print out, let's see, it should be at 0, 1, 2, 3. This should be the third element in this array. Well, it's the fourth element, but it should be at location 3. I've taken out the code where I removed the BlackBerry, so that's still in there. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3. So let's see what happens. So yes, 3. Great. So it's found it. It's pretty handy, pretty useful. So we can do this. We can do something similar. We can ask if the list contains something. So we could go system.out.println mylist.contains mango. Mangoes are great. There's no mango here. So this is actually going to print out false. It's a boolean. It returns a boolean as opposed to returning an index. So yeah, here it will say false because there's no mango in there. And there we go. If it was true, it would return. So you could use that in a number of ways. So like we could set up a little if statement, say if it contains it, print it out. If it doesn't contain it, add it. So if my list contains mango, .out.println, yes, there is a delicious mango here for you to enjoy. Else my list.add mango, and we'll say and then we'll go mango. So what we'll do here is say if it's here, if there is a mango, print this out. If not, add a mango, say you've added a mango, and then print it out where if it contains it, and it should, so that should spit out true. So there's no mango in there, so we'll see what happens. There we go. So there wasn't a mango, so we didn't get this. So we say added a mango, and it printed out true. So that's just a little example of what you can do with it. So that's the basics of array lists. I find them pretty useful. I'm using them more and more these days. I'll leave it there for now. Hopefully you found this useful. So until next time, goodbye.